the presenter, when he talks, usually come up on the screen is the big video when I talk. Of course, he's going to talk. It's the mic.
I'll try to block it from that side.
I can also change the mic input to neither one of this computer.
Okay. Yeah, we know the audio is pretty good, so we can do that now.
So we can try this. And for Steve, it might take 30 seconds or something for it to actually start streaming.
My screen changed, which is to say that I got the play button.
Yeah.
And now it's just showing me shape, particularly blurry, over enlarged thumbnail check.
I was getting that before too. I had to refresh a few times.
See, doing it on the iPad, I think, is not the optimal experience.
I think it is going to be tricky though, because it seems like it needs to be going for a couple minutes before people are. It's foolproof that you're going to be able to join. So the problem is going to be if they have 15 minutes setting this stuff up, starting it, having a couple minutes before people will join. They're going to have to be really on point.
Yeah, they're going to want to actually start the broadcast a couple minutes before the class starts.
Yeah.
So you should be able to hear both of us talking back and forth now. I just muted.
So that's about a minute lag.
Yep.
So I'm not able to switch that stuff.
It's automatic.
So you're still the host.
It's based on talking, or I can, as the host, choose that only mine goes up on the screen.
That's interesting.
I can choose. I can actually hide you from the broadcast.
It tells me you are now hidden from the
broadcast.
Right.
So Steve, so once we get to that point, it should, his little thumbnail I think might even disappear, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like it did.
And then it'll force you to only see me.
The documentation for users can be a pain because, or for anybody who is like not inclined to mess around, it's not like have to like back and forth, refresh, try this, try that.
Lost the window, now
this
what?
thing that I tried before, now it works.
Let's say the chalky stuff is great then. We can see that.
We got that going for us.
Even the white looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not switching back, but I'm curious if we had that program, we probably would need to wait.
Well, I'm sure we could, but I think the chalk is better. There's less glare.
Yeah, that's what you kind of like.
Yeah, we would not have gotten rid of the glare. Correct.
So that forces the camera down me. So okay, so that's good. That answers a lot of questions. The other thing too, though, is we know how Google likes to update things. They just update stuff and they don't tell us anything. So this might work differently by the time the class actually starts. So who knows?
August 28th is they're going to have the instructions. You're now part of the live broadcast community.
Oh, and then you can choose to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Can I see you switching to a top?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, do you want me to... Yeah, what do you want to see? What would you like to see on my computer?
Would you happen to have a Google presentation?
Yeah, I should.
I do want to see that from your side.
This is already easier than Adobe Connect.
Oh, this is way easier than Adobe Connect. The nice thing is you don't have to remember to hit record every time.
Yeah.
It just automatically creates. Yeah. So presentations. I should have.
Lag probably 45 seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. So you can actually like have a conversation so the camera was switching for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. All right. So this is something Frank. Nope. It's nothing.
It's an interesting idea that it does that, though. It's
It's
cool
really
as a
cool when you
one-on-one.
have the regular hangouts and you've got 10 people
Right.
there. And what happens is there's one person in the main window, then 9 people in small windows. And as soon as one of these other people starts talking, they have to leave.
That is pretty cool.
But we don't have that here. It's always going to be just the presenter. We're not, like, Jamie's not going to be presenting.
Yeah, so they would want to do the lockout thing where the only camera we see is the webcam.
Screen share.
Where was that on the left side there?
It's the green one, the arrow. So start screen share. That should show up on the stream now.
It's fine, this is still switching back every second.
Even though I'm not-
I think it's maybe my voice.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
And now I can actually
This would never work on a news channel where there's two people yelling at each other.
presentation.
Just boom, boom, boom.
And I should be able to talk and go through. And Steve should be able to hear me.
People wouldn't have understood what you meant.
And stuff.
News channel, but now it's normal.
Yeah. Now I'm curious if I'm at the exact same point that Steve is. So yours just switched, mine is not yet. Mine is still not switched.
It's still switching back in the top.
Yeah, I mean, oh, but it looks even nicer.
Just showing the screen though.
Yeah, it's not like getting a screen on that.
Oh, is it because the mic, this mic over here is?
No, you know what I think it is? I think it's because I went full screen, and it won't do full screen. It'll only do a certain window. So in just a second, so I can't actually full screen the screen sharing. Or no, well, I don't know what it'll look like for you.
You take a note that if I start talking, my mic is muted, you tell me. Pops up a little blue window and says, just so you know.
How does it know you were talking?
Mic is-
What if you were sitting there
So,
quietly?
what I
I've been looking at this.
So I'm also going to want to
I'm surprised that I could.
hide him while this is
Yeah.
going. But now you should.
Alright, so that's it. But
So when you're preview,
It's the
local window, it does show.
presentation.
You should see what's on the screen. I might have to redo that.
If you better do
Oh. All right. Now you should see the screen sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
So, it's interesting, so I don't have any lag if I'm presenting.
Oh, really? Oh, you know what, I wonder if like somehow.
Yeah,
it's
because
gonna
we're
be
giving you
YouTube,
priority.
like, it's gonna be YouTube
I think
back.
that's, that's gotta be what it is.
exactly. Because it's streaming from
That's
YouTube.
interesting.
Yeah, it's actually a YouTube stream. If you actually went to YouTube and you knew what the URL,
Then you get it without,
You get it in the YouTube window.
but you wouldn't be able to comment.
There we go.
Right. But now you're seeing all this stuff.
I think it's really a screen share, not a Google app.
Yeah. So unfortunately, as soon as I go full screen, it kicks me out of the screen sharing.
Oh,
It goes back
full
to
screen in the Google presentation.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious what happens if I hit full screen in the web browser. We'll see if I wonder if that'll actually.
I was thinking about that, and, you know, the lack of lag with me, so that's really nice that anybody that's a presenter
Actually.
has no lag. It's not gonna
View
You guys have
presentation
spoken
mode.
presentation.
30-second lag.
I wonder what that'll
Hang
do.
on.
Is that going to do anything, or does that kick us out of
Still,
screen sharing?
I have this.
So it does kick us out of screen sharing. We try to go back to screen. It's too bad. So that just kicks you out.
So you can't full screen and screen share. All right, so that's another thing we learned.
Playing. Oh, bad things will happen. Yeah.
You'll get lost in the infinite screens. So then you're going to want to check your stream and make sure you're actually streaming what you want to stream. It's funky. go?
Look how clear that image is. That's
Yeah.
pretty incredible.
Oh, you know what? Here, let's try this. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Infinite
Yeah, getting sucked into a vortex.
screens. All right, so actually here, let me fix that.
So what are you screen sharing the screen sharing app right now?
No, you can actually share the desktop, which maybe
Gotcha.
I was just doing a window before. I bet this way I can actually do everything on the screen with full screen.
See, now you have Chrome full screen? Is that the difference?
Yeah, now I have. Well, no, the difference is I was sharing just a single window,
Okay.
a single application window, because you can say just this window, just this application gets shared.
I took it out.
Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. So actually here. But then people see everything you're clicking on and everything that you see exactly, which is probably not a big deal. So this should work.
So if they really did need to show a website or even a PowerPoint, they could do it.
Yeah.
It'd probably be best to have it within Google Docs rather than PowerPoint.
Oh, there you go.
I was sharing just there, so that'll work.
It's great.
So if they really needed to show a PowerPoint for some reason,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, whatever's on the screen.
But only the remote people are seeing it. Nobody in here is seeing it.
yeah, that's true.
Because if you put it on the screen,
Although you could, for
So
the
is
duration
this-
of that, have the projector on, I guess, you'd have to shut it off.
Is this specifically the Google presentation app? Is this any different than if you said what for PowerPoint? It's just whatever.
Whatever's on
application
the
is-
screen. Yep. Whatever's on the screen. When you do screen sharing, it lets you pick from a variety of different.
I think this will be, if this goes forward, I think it'll be a really good learning experience for us.
For sure. It already has one.
It's, like I said, I doubt that the result is going to be, although I think it's better than I thought it was going
It's
to be.
definitely better than I thought.
And I can switch back to the camera.
with not a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
When you
no,
think, you
that's- Camera's $250. I don't know how much the microphone is.
You can get one of those for about 100.
Yeah.
Bucks, a good one.
The stand is $125 or so.
What else is cool too is you can on the fly switch between the mics. So I switched from that mic to this one.
Yep.
And assuming if you have multiple cameras, you could actually switch between two cameras too.
Don't get crazy. One step at a time.
So you could have one that's close up on the.
You just
Full
knock
front,
it
knock
back
one
and forth.
that's-
That's why I was imagining that camera that caught enough of the room to be useful to show the software.
Yeah.
Not right in this small.
I can read that from here. So,
Well, I can't.
Should we see how that mic compares to the built-in mic in the
Sure.
webcam?
And that's just a drop-down menu and
Yeah.
drop-down option, right?
So right now we're using the
Suppose
Samsung
anybody has headphones.
mic, and we'll see how that sounds.
Oh, we can listen to it on YouTube
And
later.
then I'm gonna switch over to the conference. So now we're on the conference cam mic.
I am on the conference cam mic. I am on the conference cam mic.
What mic are you?
Who's Mike?
It does drive me nuts when people spell Mike, M-I-K-E, instead of M-I-C. That drives me
You
insane.
wanna turn off
It's
your
not what it
your
is.
sound?
It's an abbreviation. You gotta use the same letters.
Is that the mic they want for the Chicago Hall screening room with their earpieces?
Well,
That doesn't sound good. That's not a good way to do that anyway.
Same way, it's a strong
Now
mic,
this is
same
gonna
way.
work, 'cause that's.
Usually it's just a prop they need. We'll give you an $8 mic that's not
Yeah,
plugged in.
we'll just do it on YouTube and see how it sounds
Yeah.
on the recording.
Boy, the color and sharpness in this is just
Yeah.
fabulous.
That's
Again,
thanks to
this-
the
I mean,
$8 app.
It's a $250 camera. I was amazed with how good this thing was. We sort of bought it on a whim, not even knowing we were going to use it. And then
And then it was, how many did we?
we did a million that one
And now
special with
Shay
all the
owns one.
snow. Lucy Johnson didn't want to come in, so I did and Skyped her class for her. But no, it's a very nice camera.
So framed like this, students wouldn't be in the shut at all, which I think is good for most classes. Because, I mean, if it were, I don't think anybody wants to stream a discussion class anyway.
Right.
But if it's a mostly person in front of the class and then someone asks a question, you know, you don't need to see the student asking the question.
And you'll hear the voice because we have a nice camera that's going to do multiple directions.
We don't have a confidentiality problem.
Yeah, because otherwise, people can check.
It's also not obtrusive to the person sitting behind Chad. They can see over his head, they can see over the camera. Right. So there's, I mean, it's not even an obstructed view for anybody in the room.
Would you say it's true, Chad? That doesn't bother you having that in front of you, between you and him?
I think even if it was, it would be the professor sitting there.
Yeah, Jamie's gonna be sitting there, theoretically.
Whoever was driving it would probably be sitting there.
And
Nancy,
really,
it's not in your way.
No. If I'm engrossed in what you're saying, I'm gonna just ignore
Right.
it.
I mean, this is plenty of space for me at least. I'm not a huge wanderer, but
And you know, as far as people writing questions, you know, I suppose maybe a student or another remote student might want to see those, but if they're primarily for instructor number 2, I would recommend that most people go just to full screen. It looks so nice doing full screen. Oh, that was interesting.
what's that?
Went to
Yeah,
wider
That's
angle.
messing with
I'm
it.
just playing with the camera settings. I think you can tweak it a little bit more and get it, get it just right
Yeah.
as far as the readability of the text
So we'll
goes.
just make sure we save the preset.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think we.
Brandon, it sort of looks like the chalkboard now, though. The thing with your right across your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, your shirt is like almost exactly the color of the background.
I didn't even think about
But
that.
I think I think we want to do even more of a just those center boards.
Yeah, I would
as far as
say, yeah,
readability.
I mean,
Even tighter
ideally the
than we've
cutoff
been
would be this line right here
Maybe.
in between.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could
I
have
think
perfect
keep it
right down
wide.
there.
Because
Yeah.
if he does wander or he does use more than one board,
Yeah, I mean, both boards are still visible, right?
yeah.
The top one, so if they have
Yeah.
something, we want to keep that up there, but I want to write something new, they can just slide that up.
But if he's walking, pacing when he's teaching, you've got a little bit more real estate. It doesn't have to be quite as far as this, but I wouldn't bring it in too much time.
I do think that anyone that wants to do this in the near future should probably do it in one of these rooms. Because we know, I mean, especially this, there's no other room that has this sort of thing.
No.
Where you can have 2 completely distinct chalkboard. I think 3
It's
actually.
3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really gonna. I think you're gonna want it because erasing it's gonna. It really looks pretty good. Already on top of the
Erase is
eraser.
fine.
Yeah. They are gonna. It is gonna have to be cleaned, but
I wouldn't mind seeing it tighter just to see. I have a feeling that just seeing the teacher bigger would be more appealing.
and we don't have to worry about the clothing issue anymore because we don't have the auto white balance on. If I was wearing a bright white shirt, which I almost wore today, it would have really washed it out with the auto white balance before, but it shouldn't do that now.
Were you able to get it to actually do the hand-tilt zoom from here?
Focus, I know I was. Zoom, I'm not sure I tried actually.
We did for a moment have it.
Yeah, I don't think you can do the control. Well, it's what
Is it because it's being used? It's in use right now? Because before I stopped the Hangout to do that. To
Oh,
any
you were
adjustments.
actually able to do it?
I know I was for focus. I didn't try any.
Can you do it from the camera itself?
Yeah, we
Or
could
do
do
you want to
that.
save the audio?
Yeah, just go ahead and do it, because that actually gets saved as the profile.
I'm curious, yeah, if I zoom in on here, is it changing the sliders on there?
No, because there aren't any hand-tilt zoom controls on here.
Okay.
For whatever
All right, yeah, that's fine. That would be fine.
So go ahead and
Further? Is it still going?
I think you need to move it because he's getting a lot more on the right hand side.
so first just aim it, try to get it as centered as you can.
How's that?
It needs to go right a little bit more. That's good. Then zoom in some more. If you can. Oh, we're at max zoom, aren't we?
Okay, so I can move it closer.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot closer. I could unplug this. I have another USB extender if you want to do that.
Yeah, whatever. We don't need the mic at this point. Just
Okay. Do some.
Kids in the hall with computers. I don't know what classes going on. Camp.
I don't think they hang out like that.
No.
I think that's it.
I mean, I think we tested all the participants, so you should be able to just restart it.
Switch there. Switch back. There we go. Yes. All right. Go ahead and move. Go ahead and move it.
I think it needs to come back. Now it's too high.
We can do up and down too, I think.
Yeah, just tilt up.
A little more.
Yeah, you can that's pretty good. And then
Move
go
it
ahead,
closer.
Move it forward. Yeah.
I don't think it needs to go forward that much. No.
I think it's not going to allow much.
I'm just saying for maximum readability, we want that as tall as possible. That will give us the most.
More than that?
Yep. Go for it.
This would be good to test too.
I think you want the most because that'll give you the best resolution. That's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Say it straight.
He's turning a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and turn it to the right.
I didn't notice it before. Maybe it's because it's closer to the edges.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, I mean, and that gives, if they wrote something on the far left or the far right, they can still stand in the shot right in front of the white, or, you know, the silver bars there.
My thought is just that everything else being equal, you want to give whoever's joining from wherever, you want to give them the best vertical resolution you can.
Right.
So you might as well zoom in on as much of that board as possible because we know we're not going to want to try to show them all the boards.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have to leave marks for where the stand goes.
Yeah.
You know, just little tape marks, little X's or something.
And the mark on the stand with camera.
Yep, exactly. But it'll have to be the same stand each time with just an X right on it, or even a square around it.
I don't see leaving this up to the instructors, though. You're going to at least have to have a student.
I think so. I think we're going to have to
But we
have
still need to
dedicated.
make it as open for
Yeah.
whatever student
Yeah.
is assigned.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's a cool assignment. I mean,
It'd be nice if we had somebody that's working for us that's taking the class.
that's what we did. Convince Chica to take chemistry.
Poor Chifa.
This is environmental studies.
Oh, by the way,
I think if we have anybody that's already in that.
I'll figure it out.
So I'm always a fan of that. You're going to be there anyway. You know, once the thing starts, you're not doing anything.
Do they get paid when they do that?
Yeah, and we'll just count that as a shift. It's pretty nice. It's a sweet deal. 2 days a week, you're going to your class and getting paid for it.
So this never ended the session. So,
Yeah,
Is that good,
so-
really? Yeah.
Good dogs.
you go stand up there again and
It'll look
in a
even
minute we'll
better.
see what you look like. Yeah.
So right here, if I wrote something on the far left here, right now I'd probably be plopping the happy man there.
Are we still broadcasting?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it
It's just that there's been no movement there.
Yeah, it's a good 30, 40-second lapse on that.
Yeah, I'm still playing with the resolution and stuff.
That's happening faster than Brandon's.
I saw tweets there.
That's interesting.
That makes sense too.
It's definitely readable.
It looks real good on
There
that.
you go.
I'm surprised.
He finally made it.
A little slow.
Yep, there's him pretending, dragging the board down.
That's probably the best you're gonna.
I think so too.
Looks
Yeah.
really good.
Make sure you save all the preset stuff in there.
Yeah, I did.
I might even mark this right now. I brought tape.
I was gonna say you brought tape, or if not.
Rather than have to do all this again.
You know, I'm not sure how people use these sliding boards, but you know, it's possible that one teacher may say, you know, once I'm done with one board, I'm done with it, and then I don't
Yep.
really need to see the top one, and you could even go tighter. But someone else may say, yeah, no, I like to see the.
I'll put the
previous one.
formulas up top or something while I'm,
Right.
whatever it might be.
Yeah, I would mark, just put a little piece of tape. I don't know if they'll clean the floors again for the classes. Take the tape off.
Kind of many squares out, and it's
You think I'm ridiculous in thinking that?
I do. I really do.
All right then. I guess it's pretty pretty safe, because the ladies' room in our building hasn't been mopped in well over a month, because Jean's had it in months.
Well, they mopped the hallway floor today.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's like, how come the floor's all wet? It's called mopping?
Yeah, I walked all over, and I was there when he was
That
doing
never
it.
happens.
I
And I went in the bathroom, I was all upset, I'm like, maybe that powder finally got, no.
Should I stop it now? Is there anything else we want to discuss?
think we're pretty good.